If your habits don't change, your life won't change. This is the hard truth most people ignore. Now ask yourself, are the things you do every single day taking you closer to success or slowly keeping you stuck where you are? Most people want results, but very few look at the daily patterns that decide their future. The truth is, success isn't built overnight. It's shaped by the choices you repeat every day. In this audiobook, I'll share the 10 habits you need to achieve success. These are not theories or motivational slogans. They are clear, practical habits you can start today. Habits that build discipline, focus, confidence, and real progress. If you stay with me, you'll learn the exact steps that separate people who achieve their goals from those who never move forward. This might be the most important lesson you'll hear this year. Chapter 1. Wake up early and use mornings to grow success. When you wake up early, something powerful happens in your life. The world is still quiet. Distractions are not yet pulling on you, and you have a chance to take control before anything else takes over your attention. Success is not only about what you do during the day, it is about how you start your day. If you wake up early and use your mornings with purpose, you give yourself an advantage that many people never experience. Most people wait until life wakes them up. They roll out of bed when they must, and they begin their day already behind. But the people who take control of the morning build the foundation for achievement, because the morning is the most honest time of your life. Think about it. When you wake up early, nobody is demanding your attention yet. Nobody is calling you. Nobody is asking you for favors. Nobody is distracting you with noise. In those hours, it is just you and your choices. That is when your mind is fresh, your energy is untouched, and your decisions carry the most weight. If you use that time wisely, you will grow faster than those who waste it. I learned a long time ago that discipline begins with the clock. If you cannot control your time, you cannot control your success. Waking up early is not about punishment. It is about preparation. It is about saying, I choose to start before the world starts. And when you do, you discover a kind of calm power that drives you through the rest of the day. When you open your eyes earlier than you used to, you gain extra hours in your life. Imagine adding 1 or 2 hours to every day. That is 7 to 14 hours a week, almost 60 hours a month. That is a full extra week every year gained just by changing the time you get out of bed. Think about what you could do with 60 extra hours. You could study a subject, exercise more, start a business, read books that change your thinking, or plan your goals in detail. Waking up early gives you those hours. Now, some people say they are not morning people, but success is not about what you prefer. It is about what you are willing to change. Nobody is born a morning person. You train yourself into habits, and habits train your future. When you decide that your mornings belong to success, you train your body and your mind to rise with purpose. At first it feels difficult, but discipline always feels difficult in the beginning. Once you start and repeat it, it becomes who you are. Success is about small advantages added up. Waking up early is one of those small advantages that multiplies everything else you do. In the morning, your mind is sharper, your focus is cleaner, and your energy is higher. When you wake up late, you are already rushing, you are already stressed, you are already behind. And when you are behind, you make poor choices, you eat poorly, you skip planning, you lose focus. Waking up early prevents that. Now, I want you to picture this. The alarm goes off. Instead of hitting snooze and giving up control, you sit up and put your feet on the ground. You breathe deeply and feel your body wake up. You remind yourself that today is another chance to move closer to your goals. You have time now to prepare your mind before the noise begins. That preparation sets the tone. You could stretch, exercise, or take a walk outside. You could write down 3 things you must accomplish today. You could read something positive that strengthens your thinking. All of that is possible because you woke up early. You know what waking up early also does? It builds trust in yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, you strengthen your confidence. If you say you will wake up at 6 and you do it, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. And when you trust yourself, you believe in your ability to handle bigger goals. Success is not built on massive moments. It is built on consistent proof that you can keep your own word. Waking up early is one of the most basic but powerful ways to practice that proof. Your mornings should not be left to chance. If you wake up late and rush into your day, you hand control over to circumstances. But if you wake up early and decide how your morning will go, you hand control back to yourself. And when you own your mornings, you begin to own your life. It is not just about the time you get up. It is about what you do with that time. Many people wake up early but waste those hours scrolling, watching, or doing nothing meaningful. That is not the habit of success. The habit of success is using mornings with intention. Decide the night before what the first hour of your morning will look like. Keep it simple but purposeful. Maybe you write your goals, review your plans, read a chapter of a book, or prepare your body with exercise. That first hour creates the standard for the rest of the day. The mind in the morning is like fresh soil. Whatever you plant first will grow the strongest. If you plant stress, distractions, and wasted time, that is what you carry with you. If you plant clarity, focus, and energy, that is what grows through your day. Waking up early gives you the chance to choose what you plant. Some of the most successful people in history were early risers. They did not wake up early because it sounded good. They did it because they understood the value of uninterrupted time. They understood that mornings belong to builders, builders of businesses, builders of health, builders of families, builders of character. Waking up early is a habit of builders. You may ask, how early should I wake up? The answer is early enough to gain control. For some, that is 5 in the morning. For others, it is 6. The exact number is not as important as the principle. Wake up before the demands of the world begin. Wake up with enough time to use your morning with purpose. At first, it will be hard. Your body will resist. You will feel the pull of the bed. But here is the truth. Success requires you to do what is uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. The first week may feel tough, the second week slightly easier, and by the third week it begins to feel natural. Once it feels natural, you will not want to go back. You will see the difference in your focus, in your energy, in your results. When you wake up early, you also experience more quiet. That quiet is valuable. In the quiet, you can think clearly. You can ask yourself questions like, what is important today? What must I finish no matter what? What kind of person am I becoming? Those questions shape your actions. Most people never stop to ask them because their days are filled with noise. But you will have asked them before the world even wakes. That is the advantage. Another reason to wake up early is momentum. If you accomplish 1 or 2 meaningful things before most people even begin their day, you feel a sense of progress. That momentum carries through the rest of the day. Success is easier when you start with wins, and waking up early gives you the chance to stack those wins. The habit of waking up early is not only about productivity, it is also about respect for your own potential. It is about saying to yourself, I will not waste my life sleeping longer than I need. Rest is important, but oversleep is a thief of time. If you want success, you cannot allow time to be stolen. You must guard it. Waking up early is one way to guard it. Now, imagine your future self, 1 year from now. Imagine you wake up early every day for 1 year. Imagine the extra hours you gain, the books you read, the skills you develop, the plans you execute. Do you think your life would be different? Of course it would. 1 year of early mornings could transform the direction of your life. And the best part, that transformation begins tomorrow morning with one choice. Set your alarm earlier and honor it. You cannot buy more time, you cannot trade for more time. But you can claim more time by rising earlier than you used to. Time is the currency of success, and mornings are where you mint that currency. So, make the decision. Waking up early is not just about a clock, it is about character. It shows that you value your life enough to take control of it. It shows that you care about your goals enough to make space for them. It shows that you have the discipline to choose success over comfort. That is what habits are. Small choices repeated until they create big results. Wake up early. Use your mornings to grow your success. Do it today, do it tomorrow, and do it until it becomes natural. That one change can be the spark that shifts everything else in your life. Success does not begin in the afternoon. It begins the moment you decide your mornings belong to you. And when you decide that, you are already one step closer to the life you want. Chapter 2. Set success goals daily and take action immediately. Success begins with clarity. When you wake up each day, you need to know what you are aiming at. Too many people drift through life hoping that something good will happen, but hope without goals leads to disappointment. Goals give direction, goals give structure, and goals give meaning to your actions. Without them, you can spend hours, days, or even years moving but never progressing. The simple act of setting success goals daily is one of the most important habits you will ever develop. Each morning, before the day takes over, take a moment to decide exactly what you want to accomplish. Keep it clear, keep it simple, and make it measurable. Success is built on specifics. Saying you want to do better or be more productive is vague, and vague goals never create strong results. But when you write down, "Today I will finish this project," or "Today I will make 5 sales calls," or "Today I will exercise for 30 minutes," you create a target that demands action. The mind works best when it knows where it is going. Setting goals daily also keeps your mind aligned with what matters. You may already have long-term dreams, maybe financial independence, better health, or stronger relationships. Those are valuable, but without daily action steps, they remain fantasies. A dream becomes a plan only when you break it into daily moves. If your vision is to be financially free, your daily goal might be to save a fixed amount, study investing, or practice a skill that brings income. If your dream is better health, your daily goal could be to prepare a healthy meal, walk 5 miles, or avoid junk food for the day. Each small step builds into the larger picture. Now here is the second part of the habit. Once you set the goal, you must act on it immediately. There is no value in writing down a goal if you delay it until tomorrow. Action is what separates intention from achievement. Too many people spend their energy planning but never doing. They talk about goals, they dream about goals, but they hesitate when it comes time to act. Success does not reward hesitation. It rewards movement. The faster you take action after setting your goal, the more momentum you build, and momentum is the lifeblood of success. Imagine this. You begin your morning by writing down 3 goals. 1 is to complete an important work task. Another is to exercise. The third is to call someone you have been avoiding. If you take action on the first goal right after writing it, your brain receives a message: "I do what I decide." That message grows stronger each time you follow through. By the end of the day, you have not only achieved more, you have also trained your mind to connect decisions with actions. That is how confidence is built, not by thinking positively, but by proving to yourself that your word carries weight. Taking immediate action also defeats procrastination. Procrastination thrives in delay. The longer you wait to start, the heavier the task feels. But if you take the first step instantly, you shrink the resistance before it grows. If your goal is to write a report, open the document and type the first line right away. If your goal is to exercise, put on your workout clothes and move your body. If your goal is to make a call, dial the number. The first step is always the hardest, but it is also the one that unlocks the rest. Daily goals should challenge you, but not overwhelm you. If they are too easy, you will not grow. If they are too large, you will give up. The key is balance. Choose goals that stretch you beyond comfort, but are realistic enough to complete in a day. Over time, those daily completions build a record of success, and that record builds belief. When you believe in your ability to achieve small goals, you naturally begin to aim higher. That is how success multiplies, by stacking achievable steps until they form an extraordinary outcome. Think about how powerful this is. Each day, you get 24 hours. Most people waste large parts of it on distractions, excuses, or reactive living. But when you set goals daily and act immediately, you transform those hours into building blocks of achievement. You do not need massive breakthroughs every day. You only need consistent progress. One phone call made, one chapter read, one workout finished, one new contact added. These are the seeds that grow into results. Now, let's talk about the psychology behind it. The human brain responds to clarity and reward. When you set a clear goal, your mind begins to focus on it, filtering distractions and highlighting opportunities that match the goal. This is how you start noticing solutions you never saw before. When you then act on the goal and complete it, your brain releases a sense of satisfaction. That satisfaction is not just emotional, it is biological reinforcement. Your body rewards you for progress, and that reward motivates you to repeat the behavior. This cycle builds a habit of achievement, but there is a trap you must avoid: setting too many goals at once. Success does not come from trying to do everything. It comes from doing the right things consistently. Each morning, write down no more than 3 to 5 goals. Prioritize them, decide which one is the most important, and act on that one first. Do not leave the hardest or most important goal until the end of the day, because fatigue and distraction will weaken your focus. Attack your top goal while your energy is strong. Once it is complete, you will feel lighter, freer, and more capable of handling the rest. Another key to this habit is honesty. Set goals that truly matter to your success, not goals that only make you feel busy. Many people confuse activity with achievement. They create long lists of small, unimportant tasks, and at the end of the day, they wonder why they made no progress. Your daily goals should connect directly to your long-term vision. Ask yourself, if I achieve these goals today, will I be closer to my real success? If the answer is yes, they are worthy goals. If the answer is no, you are distracting yourself. Success is emotional as well as practical. When you achieve a daily goal, you feel proud. That pride is not arrogance. It is the natural result of self-respect. Each day that you keep your promise to yourself, you feel stronger. You walk taller. You speak with more conviction. You carry yourself with more energy. Others notice this, and it influences how they respond to you. People trust those who trust themselves, and nothing builds self-trust like daily goals followed by immediate action. Consistency is the bridge between goals and success. Setting goals once a week is not enough. Waiting until the start of a new year is not enough. It must be daily. The reason is simple. Life changes daily. Opportunities appear daily. Distractions strike daily. If you do not reset your focus every morning, you will lose it to whatever demands the loudest attention. A daily goal is like a compass. It points you back to what matters, no matter what else happens. Think about the alternative. Without daily goals, your days blur together. You wake up, you do tasks, you go to bed, and you wonder why nothing changes. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and your dreams stay distant. But with daily goals, every day becomes a step. You may not reach the top in a day, but you are climbing. That feeling of progress is what makes life exciting. It is what gives you energy to keep going even when challenges appear. And remember, the habit is not just about writing goals, it is about taking action right away. If you delay, you weaken the connection between decision and execution. The strongest people are those who close that gap quickly. They decide and then they move. That is the behavior you must build. Do not give your mind time to negotiate. Once the goal is clear, step into it. Action creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. You can practice this starting tomorrow. As soon as you wake up, sit down with a piece of paper. Write 3 goals that truly matter to your success. Choose one and act on it immediately. Do not wait. Do not think about whether you feel like it. Just move. By the end of the day, look at what you have achieved. Then do it again the next day and the day after that. Within weeks, you will feel a shift. Within months, your results will show. Within years, your life will be unrecognizable. This habit is not complicated, but it is powerful. Set success goals daily. Take action immediately. Do not delay. Do not excuse. Do not wait for perfect timing. Success comes to those who are specific, consistent, and active. Every day is another chance to prove that you can move your life forward. The opportunity is in your hands each morning. Decide clearly, act quickly, and build your future step by step. That is how you transform your life, not someday but starting today.
Chapter 3. Work with focus and finish tasks before moving forward. When it comes to achieving success, focus is one of the most important skills you can ever develop. Focus means giving your full attention to the task in front of you, refusing to allow distractions to pull you away, and finishing what you started before moving on to something else. Most people fail not because they lack ambition, but because they scatter their energy in too many directions at once. They begin something, then jump to another thing, and then another. At the end of the day, they are exhausted but have nothing complete to show for their effort. Success is not built on half-finished projects. Success is built on tasks completed with clarity and discipline. When you decide to work with focus, you teach yourself the discipline of depth. Instead of touching 10 tasks lightly, you take one task and see it through until the end. There is an enormous difference between doing many things halfway and doing one thing fully. The satisfaction that comes from completion builds confidence and energy. Finishing one task gives you momentum, and momentum carries you into the next task with even greater strength. Our modern world is filled with distractions. Phones buzz, messages arrive, and social media tempts you with endless updates. These distractions may feel small, but they destroy focus. Every time you shift your attention, you lose rhythm, and it takes time to return. Imagine starting a task, pausing for a quick look at your phone, and then trying to pick up where you left off. That quick look breaks your concentration, and it takes several minutes to fully re-engage. Multiply that by a dozen interruptions a day, and you can see why people feel busy, yet accomplish little. The habit you must develop is this: when you start a task, commit to it fully until it is finished. Block out time, silence distractions, and enter a state of complete attention. This is how you train your mind to work deeply. It is how you separate yourself from those who never finish anything. Every time you finish, you send yourself a message: I am capable of completing what I begin. That message shapes your character, and your character shapes your success. Finishing tasks is more than productivity. It is also about self-respect. When you leave things undone, You carry mental weight. You think about it. You feel guilty about it, and it drains your energy. But when you finish, you feel lighter. You can close that chapter and move forward without baggage. The habit of finishing brings clarity not only to your work, but also to your mind. Start by choosing the most important task for your day. Do not begin 5 things at once. Select the one that truly matters, the one that will move you closer to success, and give it your full attention. Work on it until it is complete. Do not leave your desk. Do not jump into another activity. Do not dilute your effort. When it is done, then and only then do you move on. This approach may sound simple, but it is rare. Most people spread themselves thin. Few people have the discipline to stay locked in on one task until the end. Those few are the ones who rise above the rest. Think about how powerful this can be in real life. If you are writing a report, do not open a dozen tabs on your browser and drift into unrelated topics. Sit down, set a time, and write until the report is finished. If you are exercising, do not scroll through your phone between sets. Focus on your workout until it is done. If you are in a conversation, do not half listen while checking notifications. Give the other person your full presence until the conversation is complete. These are simple examples, but they reflect the deeper principle. Finish what you start before moving on. The reason many people lack results is not because they do not start enough things. It is because they do not finish enough things. Starting is easy. Finishing takes discipline. Success does not reward starters. It rewards finishers. A book half read does not give you knowledge. A workout half done does not build your strength. A business half built does not create wealth. Only what is completed can carry you forward. Working with focus also creates quality. When your attention is divided, your output is sloppy. But when your attention is undivided, you notice details, you solve problems faster, and you produce work that you are proud of. Quality builds reputation, and reputation builds opportunity. Employers, clients, and partners trust people who deliver complete, high-quality work. That trust becomes one of your greatest assets. Another benefit of working with focus is time efficiency. You might think multitasking saves time, but it does the opposite. Switching tasks repeatedly slows you down. It is like trying to run in 2 directions at once. You end up nowhere. Focused work may feel slower in the moment, but it finishes tasks faster in the long run. A task done once with focus takes less time than a task done twice with distraction. To practice this habit, create an environment that supports focus. Remove unnecessary clutter from your workspace. Turn off notifications. Let people know you are unavailable during your focused work sessions. Set a timer for deep work periods, say 60 minutes, and commit fully during that time. When the timer ends, take a short break, then start again if need. Training your focus is like training a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Another part of finishing tasks is managing priorities. Sometimes we avoid finishing because we start the wrong task. If you spend your day on low-value tasks, you may finish them, but they will not move you closer to success. So learn to identify what matters most. Ask yourself, if I only finish one task today, which one would have the biggest impact? Once you know the answer, make that task your priority. Work on it first, finish it, and then handle the rest. This habit ensures that your energy is invested where it matters most. Discipline and focus also builds resilience. When you refuse to quit in the middle, you train yourself to endure discomfort. Focus requires you to sit with boredom, resist distraction, and push through difficulty. These are the same qualities that success demands in every area of life. Each time you complete a task, you strengthen your ability to persevere in larger challenges. Remember that finishing tasks is not only about work or career, it applies to every area of life. Finish the conversation with your family instead of rushing. Finish the meal preparation instead of leaving it halfway. Finish reading the book instead of jumping to another one. Every time you finish, you practice discipline. Discipline repeated daily becomes character, and character is what builds a successful life. Do not underestimate the emotional reward of finishing. It creates a sense of progress, and progress is deeply motivating. You feel proud, you feel capable, you feel in control. That emotional lift carries into your next task, creating a cycle of achievement. On the other hand, leaving tasks unfinished creates frustration. You feel stuck, you feel scattered, and you lose confidence. The difference between these two experiences comes down to one decision: finish or not finish. If you want to rise above average, develop this simple rule for yourself. Never move on until the task at hand is complete. This rule will separate you from the majority who are easily distracted. You will become known as someone who delivers, someone who can be trusted, someone who brings things to the finish line. And that reputation will open doors for you that talent alone never could. Your mind will resist in the beginning. It will whisper excuses. This is too hard. I'll do it later. Maybe I should start something else. Ignore those whispers. Stay committed until the task is done. Each time you do, your resistance weakens. Soon finishing becomes your normal way of working. And once it becomes normal, you will see how quickly your life begins to change. Success is not about how many things you start. It is about how many things you finish. Focus and completion are habits, and like all habits, they are built through repetition. Begin today. Choose one task, focus completely, finish it, and then move forward. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again the day after. Soon it will become part of who you are. When you live this way, your results multiply, your confidence grows, your reputation strengthens, and your future expands. Work with focus. Finish what you start, then move forward to the next challenge. This habit alone can transform the direction of your life.
Chapter 4. Discipline yourself daily and refuse to make excuses. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without discipline, even the best plans fall apart, even the strongest dreams fade, and even the smartest people never reach their potential. Discipline is not something you practice once and forget about. It is something you must choose every single day. It is a habit that must become part of your identity. When you discipline yourself daily, you create consistency, and consistency is what builds results. Excuses will always appear, but if you learn to reject them, you gain control of your life instead of surrendering it to weakness. Every person faces the temptation to take the easy way out. It is always easier to stay in bed than to rise early, easier to eat junk food than to prepare a healthy meal, easier to watch television than to study, easier to complain than to act. But here is the truth. Easy choices bring hard lives. Hard choices bring easy lives. The discipline to say no to excuses and yes to responsibility is what separates the achievers from the talkers. Excuses may sound reasonable, but they always lead to regret. You might say, "I don't have time," but in reality, you do not make time. You might say, "I'm too tired," but energy comes from activity, not from excuses. You might say, "It's not the right moment," but there is never a perfect moment. Excuses may protect your comfort today, but they will cost you opportunities tomorrow. If you refuse to make them, you remove the biggest barrier between you and your goals. Daily discipline is built in small moments. It is built every time you wake up when the alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze. It is built every time you complete a workout when you do not feel like it. It is built every time you work on your goal instead of scrolling aimlessly. Each of these choices seems small, but they are not. They are training sessions for your character. With each disciplined choice, you are shaping yourself into a stronger person. One of the most dangerous habits is negotiating with excuses. When you tell yourself, "just this once," you are opening the door to weakness. Excuses multiply when they are fed.
If you give in one day, the next day becomes easier to give in again. Soon, it becomes your default response. But when you reject excuses daily, they lose power. You stop believing them because you have evidence that you can act without them. Think about what happens when you live without discipline. Projects remain unfinished. Health declines. Opportunities pass by. Relationships weaken, and potential stays locked away. You look back at weeks, months, or even years, and you realize nothing has changed. That realization creates frustration, but frustration alone does not fix anything. Discipline fixes it. Success does not come to those who want it. It comes to those who are willing to practice discipline long enough to deserve it. Now imagine the opposite life. Imagine you wake up each morning committed to discipline. You follow through on your plan whether you feel like it or not. You take care of your health every day. You give your best effort at work. You learn something new each evening, and you use your time with intention. After 1 week, you feel progress. After 1 month, you see visible results. After 1 year, you are a completely different person. That transformation does not happen by accident. It happens by daily discipline. Discipline is not about being harsh with yourself. It is about being honest. It is about recognizing that if you do not control yourself, life will control you. It is about making decisions today that your future self will thank you for. It is about respecting your own potential enough to not waste it. This honesty builds strength. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you grow in self-respect. And self-respect creates confidence. Excuses, on the other hand, destroy confidence. Every time you accept an excuse, you weaken your trust in yourself. You begin to doubt whether you can rely on your own word. That doubt spreads into other areas of life. You hesitate, you second guess, you lower your standard. Excuses are not harmless. They eat away at your foundation. But when you refuse to make excuses, you protect your confidence, and confidence is the fuel that drives all achievement. The discipline to act daily is what creates habits, and habits shape destiny. If you discipline yourself to write every day, you become a writer. If you discipline yourself to exercise every day, you become healthy. If you discipline yourself to save money every day, you become financially secure. Discipline is not punishment. It is the tool that turns who you want to be into who you actually are. You must also understand that discipline is contagious. When you practice it, others notice. They see your consistency, your reliability, your results, and they respond with respect. Discipline earns trust from others because people know you can be counted on. That trust creates opportunities. Employers promote those who are disciplined. Clients hire those who deliver without excuses. Families respect those who keep their word. Discipline not only transforms you, it transforms how the world treats you. To live with discipline, you need systems. Relying only on willpower is not enough. Create routines that make discipline easier. Prepare your clothes the night before so there is no decision to make in the morning. Plan your meals ahead of time so you do not rely on impulse. Schedule your most important work at the time of day when you have the most energy. Remove distractions from your environment so you do not have to resist them constantly. Discipline grows stronger when your environment supports it. There will always be days when you do not feel like it. That is normal. Discipline is not about waiting for motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going long after motivation has faded. When you show up daily, regardless of mood, you prove to yourself that you are not controlled by feelings, but by decisions. That power is what creates lasting success. The people who achieve greatness are not those who had it easy. They are those who remain disciplined despite challenges. They did not allow excuses to stop them. They worked when tired, they trained when busy, they studied when distracted, and they sacrificed comfort for growth. That is why they achieved what others only dreamed about. You have the same choice. You can either be controlled by excuses, or you can control yourself through discipline. Think about the last time you broke a promise to yourself. How did it feel? Did you feel strong, or did you feel weaker? Now think about the last time you kept a promise to yourself, even when it was difficult. How did that feel? Did you feel proud, capable, unstoppable? That is the difference discipline makes. It turns self-doubt into self-belief, and self-belief into action. The key is repetition. One day of discipline will not change your life, but one day repeated hundreds of times will. Every time you practice discipline, you reinforce it. Every time you refuse excuses, you weaken them. Over time, discipline becomes your identity. You no longer need to push yourself as hard because it becomes automatic. You wake up and do the work because that is who you are. Excuses will always try to sneak back in. They will disguise themselves as logic, as fairness, as self-care. They will whisper that you can relax today, that you deserve a break, that tomorrow is a better day to start. Recognize them for what they are. Tricks designed to steal your potential. If you listen, you lose. If you ignore them and act, you win. Every time you choose action over excuse, you strengthen the habit of discipline. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from wasted time, freedom from unfulfilled potential. It gives you the power to choose your future instead of drifting into it. Without discipline, life happens to you. With discipline, you shape life on your terms. Start today. Decide that excuses no longer have authority over you. Decide that your word to yourself is final. Decide that every day you will practice discipline, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Discipline yourself daily and refuse to make excuses. That one habit can transform everything. Your health, your work, your relationships, your finances, your confidence, your life. If you live with daily discipline, you will achieve what most people only imagine. If you refuse excuses, you will experience a sense of control that few ever feel. That is the path to success, and it is available to you right now. All you must do is choose it, and keep choosing it, day after day, until discipline becomes your way of life.
Chapter 5. Learn something new every day and grow your mind. The difference between those who rise in life and those who remain the same is often found in one simple habit: learning something new every single day. Knowledge is fuel for growth, and when you feed your mind daily, you expand your ability to think, to solve problems, and to create opportunities. Success is not just about effort, it is about knowing how to direct that effort wisely. If you stop learning, you stop improving. If you stop improving, you eventually fall behind. But when you make the choice to grow your mind each day, you guarantee that tomorrow will be better than yesterday. Learning does not always mean formal education. You do not need a classroom or a degree to expand your thinking. It can be as simple as reading a book, listening to an audiobook, watching an educational video, studying the life of someone successful, or asking meaningful questions to people who know more than you. The key is consistency. You may only learn one idea in a day, but if you do it daily, that becomes 65 new lessons a year. Imagine how much your life changes when you collect that much wisdom year after year. Most people stop learning once they leave school, and that is one of the greatest mistakes anyone can make. School gives you the basics, but life requires more than the basics. Life rewards those who keep studying, who keep asking, who keep searching. Think about the world today. Technology is changing rapidly. Industries are evolving. New skills are in demand. If you rely only on what you learned years ago, you will struggle. But if you learn daily, you adapt, and those who adapt always find ways to succeed. Daily learning also sharpens your mind. Just like the body needs exercise to stay strong, the mind needs new information to stay sharp. If you do not challenge your brain, it becomes dull. You lose curiosity, you lose creativity, you lose the edge that separates achievers from the average.
But when you challenge your mind daily, you remain alert, open, and capable of handling new challenges. A sharp mind is one of the greatest tools for success. Another reason to learn daily is confidence. When you know more, you feel more capable. Confidence is not built by pretending you know everything. It is built by actually expanding what you know. Every time you read, study, or practice, you add another layer of strength to your mind. That strength shows in the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, and the way you make decisions. People respect those who are knowledgeable, and opportunities come more easily to those who display confidence built on real competence. The beauty of learning is that it compounds. One idea connects to another, and soon you begin to see patterns and possibilities that others miss. A single book could spark a business idea. A single conversation could open a door to a new career. A single skill learned could increase your income for life. But you never know which piece of knowledge will change your life unless you commit to learning daily. Think about your daily routine. How much time do you spend on activities that add no value to your future? Hours are wasted on scrolling, entertainment, and noise. If you redirected even a fraction of that time to learning, your results would be extraordinary. 15 minutes a day reading a good book adds up to almost 10 hours a month. 10 hours a month focused on growth makes you smarter, sharper, and stronger than most people around you. Some people say they do not have time to learn. The truth is, they have not made it a priority. Time will not appear. You must create it. Wake up a little earlier. Use travel time for audiobooks. Spend the first minutes of your day feeding your mind instead of your distractions. It is not about having more hours. It is about using the hours you already have with greater intention. Another part of learning daily is applying what you learn. Knowledge without action is wasted. If you read something new, practice it. If you hear a new strategy, test it. If you discover a new idea, apply it in your life. That is when knowledge turns into wisdom, when it moves from theory into experience. Do not just be a collector of information, be a user of information. That is how you grow faster than others. When you learn daily, you also set yourself apart from the crowd. Most people are not willing to put in that effort. They settle for entertainment instead of education. They repeat the same routines year after year without adding new skills. That is why they stay stuck. You can rise above that by committing to learn something new every day. Over time, this makes you invaluable. People will come to you for answers, for solutions, for leadership, and when you become valuable, success naturally follows. Another benefit of daily learning is that it makes life more interesting. Curiosity creates excitement. When you are curious, you see the world differently, you notice details, you ask questions, you feel alive. Without curiosity, life becomes repetitive and dull. But when you learn daily, your curiosity grows, and with it comes joy, growth, and motivation. Success becomes not just about reaching goals, but about enjoying the process of becoming wiser every day. There is also an emotional benefit to growing your mind. Learning gives hope. When you learn something new, you feel progress, and progress creates optimism. Even if your current situation is difficult, learning reminds you that you are not stuck. You can grow, you can improve, and you can create a better future. That hope fuels resilience, and resilience keeps you moving when life challenges you. The most successful people in the world all share this habit. They are lifelong learners. They read daily. They study others. They surround themselves with knowledge. They do not believe they already know enough. They understand that success requires constant evolution, and evolution requires learning. If they can commit to daily growth, so can you. To make this habit work, keep it simple. Choose one method of learning each day and stick to it. It could be a chapter of a book, a short online course, a podcast, or journaling lessons from your experiences. What matters is not how much you do in one day, but that you do something every day. Over time, the small actions create massive change. Do not wait for the perfect time to start. Begin today. Pick up a book that challenges you, listen to someone who inspires you, or write down one lesson you have learned from your own life. Each of these actions counts. Do not underestimate the power of small, consistent growth. The mind, once stretched by new knowledge, never returns to its old size. Every new idea makes you larger, stronger, and more capable. Learning something new daily is not only for personal success, it also strengthens your ability to help others. When you grow your mind, you can teach, guide, and inspire those around you. You can share what you know with your family, your friends, your co-workers. You become a source of value for others, and that creates deeper connections and greater influence. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I learn today? If the answer is nothing, then you have wasted one of the greatest opportunities life offers. But if the answer is one idea, one lesson, or one skill, then you are growing. Keep stacking those days, and your future will thank you. Learning daily is an act of respect for your potential, for your future, and for the life you want to create. It is a statement that you refuse to stay the same, that you will not settle, that you are committed to improvement. Success belongs to the learners, and the learners are those who never stop feeding their minds. Make this your habit. Learn something new every day, and grow your mind. Do it with discipline, do it with curiosity, and do it with purpose. Over weeks, you will feel the change. Over months, you will see the change. Over years, you will become the kind of person who is unstoppable, not because you know everything, but because you never stop learning.
Chapter 6. Push through obstacles daily and move closer to success. Obstacles are a natural part of life, and if you want to achieve success, you must accept that they will show up again and again. Some people believe success means avoiding difficulties, but that belief is false. Success is not the absence of obstacles, it is the ability to push through them each day without losing momentum. Every challenge you face has the power to either stop you or strengthen you, and the choice is always yours. When you build the habit of facing obstacles daily, you develop a kind of strength that carries you further than talent, luck, or circumstance ever could. Each day brings its own difficulties. Some are small, like distractions, delays, or inconveniences. Others are larger, like rejection, failure, or unexpected setbacks. Many people let these challenges control their emotions. They complain, they quit, or they wait for an easier road. But waiting never works. There is no easier road. The road to success is filled with barriers, and the only way forward is to keep moving through them. Every time you push through, you grow tougher, wiser, and more capable of handling the next one. Think about the people who inspire you most. They did not rise because life gave them a smooth path. They rose because they refused to stop. They faced rejection, but tried again. They faced failure, but learned and adjusted. They faced criticism, but kept going anyway. That is the pattern you must build into your own life. Push through obstacles daily, no matter how small or large, and success will become the natural result of your persistence. The psychology behind obstacles is simple. Your brain prefers comfort. It wants the easiest path with the least resistance. When an obstacle appears, your natural instinct is to step back. But success requires that you train yourself to step forward instead. Each time you override that instinct, you rewire your thinking. You begin to see obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. That shift in perspective changes everything. Because once you stop fearing obstacles, you stop being controlled by them. Obstacles test your patience. They test your discipline. They test your commitment to your goals. When you push through them, you prove that your goals are stronger than your excuses. Without obstacles, success would be meaningless. Imagine if everything you wanted came instantly. You would never grow, you would never learn, and you would never value the result. Obstacles are what give success its worth.
They demand that you become more, and becoming more is the true reward. Practical action is the key. When you face an obstacle, break it down. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to move forward, even one step? Do not get overwhelmed by the size of the challenge. Focus on progress. If a project fails, take time to analyze why and make improvements. If someone rejects you, learn from the feedback and try again with adjustments. If you lack resources, find creative ways to start with what you have. The point is not to eliminate the obstacle instantly, but to keep moving in spite of it. Another important habit is consistency. Pushing through obstacles once is not enough. You must do it daily. Every day brings a test, and every day you must choose resilience. Some days you will feel tired, some days you will feel discouraged. Some days you will wonder if it is worth it. That is when pushing through matters most. The strength you build on the hardest days is the strength that will carry you to your greatest achievement. Many people stop when things get uncomfortable, but comfort is the enemy of growth. If you want success, you must be willing to endure discomfort. The obstacle might be fear of speaking in public, fear of rejection, fear of failure, or fear of judgment. The only way to overcome those fears is to face them directly. If you avoid them, they grow. If you confront them, they shrink. Each time you confront a fear, you build courage, and courage is a necessary ingredient for success. Obstacles also reveal how much you truly want something. If you quit easily, your desire was weak. If you push through again and again, your desire is strong. The world has a way of testing commitment by placing obstacles in your path. It asks, how badly do you want this? If your answer is strong enough, you will keep going. And when you keep going, eventually the obstacle gives way. Pushing through daily obstacles also builds problem-solving skills. Every time you face resistance, you are forced to think differently. You find new strategies, new resources, and new perspectives. Over time you become more creative and adaptable. These skills make you valuable in any field, because while others get stuck, you find a way forward. Problem solvers are always in demand, and the ability to solve problems grows only when you consistently face them instead of avoiding them. Another truth is that obstacles often appear right before breakthroughs. Many people give up at the moment they are closest to success. They do not realize that the difficulty they are facing is the final test before the reward. By quitting, they never experience the breakthrough. But if you keep pushing, you will reach the other side. The habit of persistence ensures that you never stop too soon. To push through obstacles daily, you must control your mindset. Your attitude determines whether an obstacle defeats you or strengthens you. If you see it as the end, it becomes the end. If you see it as a challenge to overcome, it becomes fuel for growth. Train your mind to ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? With that perspective, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone instead of a wall. Your emotions will often try to stop you. You may feel frustration, anger, or despair. But feelings are temporary. Discipline is stronger than feelings. Do not wait to feel ready before pushing through. Act in spite of feelings, and your emotions will eventually follow your action. When you keep moving forward, even while discouraged, you prove that you are stronger than your emotions. That strength is what keeps success within reach. It is also important to remember that pushing through obstacles does not mean you must do it alone. Seek guidance from those who have overcome similar challenges. Surround yourself with people who encourage you instead of those who feed your doubts. Success is not a solo journey, it is built with the help of others. But help only matters if you are willing to keep moving yourself. No one can carry you forever. They can guide, they can support, but the pushing must be yours. Each obstacle you overcome becomes part of your story. When you look back, the moments of struggle will be the ones you are proudest of. Nobody finds pride in the easy days. Pride is built in the difficult ones. You will remember the nights you stayed committed when quitting was easier. The mornings you rose after failure, the times you acted despite fear. Those memories give you strength to handle future obstacles with even greater resilience. The habit of pushing through also influences those around you. People watch how you respond to difficulties. If you quit, they see weakness. If you persist, they see strength. Your example can inspire your family, your friends, your co-workers, or even strangers. You may never know how many people are encouraged by your determination, but your persistence has the power to change more lives than your own. Success is not reserved for those with perfect circumstances. It is reserved for those who refuse to stop. Each obstacle is temporary. Each challenge is an opportunity. Each setback is a lesson. When you face them daily with courage and persistence, you transform into someone capable of achieving anything. So commit yourself to this principle. Push through obstacles daily. Do not wait for life to get easier. Do not hope for a path without resistance. Instead, build the strength to handle whatever appears in your way. Each day, prove to yourself that you will not be stopped. With every obstacle you overcome, you move closer to success. And one day, you will look back and realize that the obstacles were not barriers at all. They were the very steps that carried you to the top.
Chapter 7. Exercise your body daily to increase energy and focus. Your body is the foundation on which every goal, every achievement, and every dream must stand. If you ignore it, you weaken your ability to focus, to think clearly, and to act with strength. If you take care of it, you unlock more energy, sharper attention, and stronger discipline. That is why daily exercise is not just about health. It is about success. The connection between body and mind is direct. When your body is active, your mind functions at a higher level. When your body is neglected, your focus becomes scattered and your energy fades quickly. If you want to live a life of achievement, you must commit to exercising your body daily. Exercise is not only about building muscles or looking fit. Those may be benefits, but the true power lies in what it does to your energy and focus. When you move your body, you increase blood flow, you supply more oxygen to your brain, and you release chemicals that improve your mood and clarity. That is why even a short workout in the morning can completely change the way you handle your day. Instead of feeling sluggish, you feel awake. Instead of losing concentration halfway through your tasks, you remain sharp. Instead of being drained by challenges, you have the stamina to push through them. Energy is the currency of success. Without it, you cannot stay consistent. Without it, you cannot endure long hours of hard work. Without it, you cannot bring passion to your goals. Too many people try to succeed on low energy, and they wonder why they burn out or give up. Daily exercise prevents that. It recharges you, it sustains you, and it multiplies your capacity to handle more than the average person. If you exercise daily, you gain an edge over those who do not. Because while they are dragging through their days, you are powering through yours. Focus is just as important. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. To stay on track, you need mental clarity, and exercise trains that clarity. When you move your body, you strengthen your ability to concentrate. You clear away stress, you release tension, and you prepare your mind for deep work. Many people try to solve focus problems with coffee or stimulants, but the real solution is movement. A body that is alive with energy gives the mind the ability to focus without struggle. Daily exercise does not need to be extreme. You do not have to spend hours in the gym. You simply have to move your body consistently. A brisk walk, a run, body weight exercises, stretching, or a simple routine at home can do wonders. The key is not intensity, the key is consistency. One workout may give you a temporary boost, but daily exercise builds a permanent state of strength and energy.
It becomes part of who you are. Think of how you feel when you avoid exercise. You feel heavy, slow, and unmotivated. Your mind becomes foggy, your patience short, and your productivity weak. Now think of how you feel after even a short workout. Your blood is pumping, your breathing is strong, and your mind is alert. That contrast is proof of how deeply your body influences your success. When you experience that difference daily, you no longer see exercise as optional. You see it as necessary. There is also a discipline factor. When you exercise daily, you prove to yourself that you can follow through on commitments. Even when you do not feel like it, you move anyway. That habit builds mental toughness. If you can control your body, you can control your habit. And if you can control your habits, you can control your future. Each workout is not just physical training. It is a daily reminder that you are stronger than your excuses. Some people believe they do not have time to exercise, but the truth is, exercise gives you back more time than it takes. When you have more energy, you complete tasks faster. When you can focus longer, you waste less time. The minutes you spend exercising are multiplied into hours of improved performance. So the excuse of no time is never real. The real issue is priority. If success is important to you, your body must be important to you. Exercise also impacts your emotions. Stress, anxiety, and frustration are part of life, but they can overwhelm you if you do not release them. Daily movement releases tension stored in the body. It resets your mood and lifts your spirit. With less stress, your mind becomes free to focus on opportunities instead of problems. With a better mood, you treat people better, you think more positively, and you handle challenges with patience. This emotional stability is a hidden strength that comes directly from daily exercise. Over time, the benefits compound. A day of exercise makes you feel good, but a year of exercise transforms your health. You become stronger, leaner, and more resilient. Your immune system improves, your sleep becomes deeper, and your risk of illness decreases. All of these benefits create more time and more ability to focus on what matters most. Success requires stamina, and stamina is built through consistent physical training. Exercise also builds self-image. When you look in the mirror and see a body that is cared for, you feel pride. That pride is not vanity. It is confidence. It tells you that you respect yourself enough to take care of yourself. That confidence influences every area of life. You walk differently, you speak differently, and you believe more strongly in your ability to achieve. People respond to that confidence. They sense your energy and trust your strength. It is important to remove the idea that exercise must be perfect. You do not need the best equipment, the perfect program, or hours of free time. What matters is doing something every day. Start with what you can manage and build from there. If you can only do 10 minutes today, do it tomorrow. Aim for more. Over time, those small efforts create a powerful habit. What begins as discipline becomes natural, and soon you cannot imagine living without it. Consider the long-term perspective. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. If you exercise daily from today until then, you will be healthier, stronger, sharper, and more energetic than most people your age. If you neglect exercise, you will be weaker, less focused, and limited by preventable problems. That difference is determined by the choice you make each day. Success is not only about financial or career achievements. It is also about the quality of life you experience. Daily exercise guarantees that your future self is strong enough to enjoy the rewards of your hard work. Daily exercise also connects to discipline in other areas. If you can push your body to move when it does not want to, you can push yourself to work when you feel tired, to study when you feel distracted, or to persist when you feel discouraged. It trains your ability to do what is necessary instead of what is easy. This is why many successful people make exercise a core part of their routine. It is not just about the body, It is about mastering the mind. The habit of exercising daily can also inspire others. Your family sees your example. Your friends notice your consistency. People around you are influenced by your energy. You may not even realize it, but your commitment can spark change in others. Success is not only about what you achieve personally, but also about the positive impact you create. When others see you strong, focused, and energized, they may feel encouraged to follow the same path. Every day presents a choice to move or to remain still. Each time you choose movement, you move closer to success. Each time you choose stillness, you drift further from it. The decision may seem small in the moment, but repeated daily, it shapes your future. Energy and focus are not gifts. They are built. They are built through action. And the most effective action is exercise. So make this your commitment. Exercise your body daily. Do it not only for health, but for energy. Do it not only for appearance, but for focus. Do it not only for today, but for the life you are building. With each workout, you invest in a stronger mind, a sharper focus, and a more powerful future. Success demands energy, and energy is created by moving your body every single day.
Chapter 8. Surround yourself with people who demand your best. The people you spend your time with shape your future more than you realize. You can have discipline, ambition, and dreams, but if you surround yourself with people who lower your standards, you will eventually slip into mediocrity. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who expect more from you, who push you to rise higher, you will naturally grow into the person capable of success. Human beings adapt to their environment. Your environment is not just the place you live, it is the people you choose to let into your circle. If you want to achieve your best, you must spend your days with people who demand nothing less from you. Most people never stop to evaluate their associations. They continue to spend time with the same people simply because it is comfortable or familiar. But comfort is not growth. If the people in your life tolerate your excuses, accept your laziness, and encourage your weaknesses, they are not helping you. They may care about you, but care without challenge does not lead to growth. True care is when someone believes in your potential enough to hold you accountable. If you tell them your goals and they remind you of them when you slip, that is real support. If you try to quit and they push you back into the fight, that is real love. The power of surrounding yourself with people who demand your best is that you raise your standards without even realizing it. You adjust your behavior to match the group. If your group wastes time, you waste time. If your group talks about dreams but never acts, you do the same. But if your group is serious about discipline, consistency, and growth, you will not want to be the one who falls behind. Their actions will influence you to rise. This is not theory, it is human psychology. We mirror the people around us. If you want to be successful, choose carefully who you allow close to you. Think about the energy people bring into your life. Some people drain you. After spending time with them, you feel tired, negative, or unmotivated. Others uplift you. After being around them, you feel alive, inspired, and ready to act. Which type of person do you think will help you reach your goals? Every interaction either pushes you forward or pulls you back. Surround yourself with those who expect you to give your best effort, and you will find yourself growing faster than ever before. Demand does not mean harshness, it means belief. People who demand your best are the ones who refuse to let you settle for less than you are capable of. They see more in you than you see in yourself, and they will not let you waste it. They remind you when you are slipping. They celebrate your progress, but they also point out when you are playing small. At times it may feel uncomfortable, but that discomfort is what stretches you. Growth never comes from being surrounded by people who only make you feel comfortable. It comes from being surrounded by people who challenge you to rise.
It is important to note that this does not mean cutting everyone out of your life. It means choosing wisely where you invest the majority of your energy. Some people may remain acquaintances, but your closest circle, the people you spend the most time with, must be those who demand your best. If your goal is to succeed, you cannot afford to spend your best hours with people who do not care about growth. You need those who remind you of your goals, who lead by example, and who encourage you to stay disciplined. Look for people who are ahead of you. If you are the smartest or most disciplined person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Surround yourself with people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. Their habits, their mindset, and their results will influence you in ways no book or lecture can. Success leaves clues, and those clues are found in the actions of successful people. By being around them, you absorb their standards, their focus, and their expectations. That environment will naturally pull you upward. At the same time, you must also bring value to the people around you. If you want to surround yourself with high achievers, you must also become someone who brings energy, discipline, and encouragement. People who demand your best also expect you to give your best. This is not a one-way relationship. The group thrives when everyone pushes each other. So ask yourself daily, am I being the kind of person who raises others? If the answer is yes, you will naturally attract people who do the same for you. The wrong associations can ruin even the strongest potential. Many people with talent fail because they spend time with people who normalize weakness. They get pulled into negativity, gossip, or distractions. Slowly, their standards drop and their potential is wasted. Do not let that be your story. Protect your environment as carefully as you protect your health. Just as you would not eat food that poisons your body, do not spend time with people who poison your mind. Surrounding yourself with people who demand your best also builds accountability. When you know others are watching your actions, you are more likely to stay consistent. It is easier to quit when nobody notices. It is harder to quit when others expect you to keep going. That external accountability reinforces your internal discipline. Over time, you no longer need as much external pressure, because you have built the habit of demanding the best from yourself. Consider the emotional benefits as well. Being around people who strive for greatness gives you hope. It shows you what is possible. If you only spend time with those who settle, you begin to believe settling is normal. But if you see people achieving, breaking limits, and living with purpose, it sparks belief inside you. You realize that success is not only for others, it is for you as well. Their example becomes your proof, and proof is more powerful than theory. You may feel resistance when you start changing your circle. Some people in your life may not understand. They may accuse you of thinking you are better than them. They may try to pull you back into old habits. That is when you must decide what matters more, their approval or your future. You cannot let guilt tie you to mediocrity. Respect everyone, but choose closeness only with those who support your growth. It is your life, and you must protect. When you surround yourself with the right people, you also experience higher standards in conversation. Instead of wasting time on gossip or negativity, you spend time discussing ideas, strategies, and goals. These conversations feed your mind instead of draining. Over time, your thoughts rise to a new level, and your actions follow. This is why being in the right circle accelerates growth so quickly. It changes the way you think daily. Success requires energy, and the people around you either add to that energy or drain it. Choose those who add. Choose those who bring optimism, drive, and discipline. Choose those who live in a way that inspires you. And just as importantly, remove yourself from environments that kill your spirit. Do not compromise your future for the sake of comfort. As you grow, Your circle may change. That is normal. Some people who were right for your past may not be right for your future. Do not fear this. Growth requires change. And change sometimes requires letting go. The right people will stay with you, supporting your journey. The wrong ones will fall away when they realize you are serious about rising. Either way, you must stay committed to surrounding yourself with people who demand your best. Every great achievement has a team behind it. Nobody succeeds alone. The right people make you stronger, sharper, and more resilient. They remind you of your vision when you forget it. They challenge you when you get lazy. They celebrate with you when you win. And they demand that you keep going when you are tempted to stop. That is the kind of circle you need if you want to reach your highest potential. So make a clear decision today. Evaluate your association. Identify who pushes you higher and who pulls you lower. Spend more time with the first group and less with the second. Seek mentors, peers, and friends who expect greatness from you. Invest your time in relationships that build you, not those that break you. Surround yourself with people who demand your best, and you will find yourself becoming the best version of yourself.
Chapter 9. Believe in your ability and act with strong confidence. Believing in your own ability is the foundation of every achievement. If you doubt yourself, even the simplest task becomes heavy. But if you trust in your capacity to handle challenges, even the most difficult journey becomes possible. Confidence is not arrogance, and it is not pretending to know everything. Confidence is the quiet strength of knowing that you can figure things out, that you can learn, that you can adapt, and that you can succeed if you stay consistent. The world often mirrors back the way you see yourself. If you carry doubt, the world doubts you. If you carry certainty, the world treats you with respect. That is why success requires that you act with strong confidence, built on genuine belief in your ability. When you believe in yourself, you create momentum. Every action you take carries more power because it is driven by certainty instead of hesitation. Think of how often opportunities are lost because someone hesitated, questioned their worth, or waited until they felt perfectly ready. Waiting for perfect confidence before taking action is the surest way to never act at all. The truth is, confidence grows from action, not before it. Each time you take a step, you prove to yourself that you are capable, and that proof becomes the seed of stronger belief. The more you act, the more you trust yourself. Building belief in your ability starts with how you talk to yourself. Many people defeat themselves with negative self-talk before they even begin. They say, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," and those words weaken them. You must replace that with words that strengthen. Say to yourself, "I can learn this, I can handle this, I am capable of growth." These are not empty phrases, they are directions you give your mind. Your brain listens to your words, and over time it begins to shape your actions, to match them. If you constantly feed it doubt, you will act with hesitation. If you feed it belief, you will act with confidence. Confidence also grows from preparation. Believing in yourself does not mean ignoring hard work. It means trusting that if you put in the effort, you will deliver. When you study, practice, and prepare, you build evidence that you are ready. That evidence creates real confidence. For example, if you want to speak with confidence, practice your material until you know it deeply. If you want to perform a skill with confidence, train until your body can do it naturally. Preparation removes unnecessary fear, because fear thrives on uncertainty, while preparation creates certainty. It is important to remember that nobody begins with perfect confidence. Everyone starts unsure. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not that the successful never doubted,
but that they acted anyway. Courage is acting, even while uncertain, and confidence is the reward for that courage. Every confident person you admire once stood where you are, questioning themselves. What separated them is that they took steps despite the doubt. That is what you must do. Act with confidence even before you feel it fully, because the act itself builds the feeling. Acting with strong confidence also influences others. People respond not to what you say, but to how you carry yourself. If you walk into a room unsure of your worth, others sense it, and they will treat you accordingly. If you walk in with self-respect and certainty, people notice, and they treat you with trust and respect in return. Confidence attracts opportunity, because people want to work with, follow and support those who believe in themselves. Another key to strong confidence is focusing on progress instead of perfection. Many people hesitate because they believe they must be flawless before acting. That belief destroys momentum. The truth is, you will make mistakes. Everyone does, but mistakes are not proof of inability. They are proof of growth. Each mistake teaches you something valuable and strengthens your ability for the next step. Confidence grows not from avoiding mistakes, but from learning that you can handle them. If you shift your focus from being perfect to making progress, you free yourself to act boldly. Your environment also matters. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, encourage you, and remind you of your strength. Doubt multiplies when you are surrounded by negativity. Confidence multiplies when you are surrounded by belief. At the same time, limit your time with those who constantly criticize or discourage. Their words can weaken your belief if you allow them. Protect your confidence as carefully as you would protect your health. One of the most effective ways to build belief in your ability is to keep promises to yourself. When you say you will do something and you follow through, you create evidence that you can be trusted. That self-trust is the root of confidence. The more often you keep your word, the more you begin to see yourself as reliable, capable, and strong. Confidence is not built in one moment. It is built in small daily victories. Each time you follow through, you are stacking bricks in the wall of belief that will protect you from doubt. Confidence also requires that you stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a thief of belief. There will always be someone more experienced, more skilled, or further ahead. But your journey is not theirs. The only comparison that matters is with who you were yesterday. If you are better today, you are winning. Focus on your growth, not on competing with everyone else. Confidence comes from knowing that you are on your path, improving step by step. When you act with strong confidence, you create momentum that attracts success. Opportunities appear because people sense your energy. Challenges become easier to face because you trust your ability to adapt. Setbacks do not crush you because you know you can recover. Every area of life improves when you carry yourself with belief. You communicate better, you perform better, and you build deeper relationships because you are not weighed down by self-doubt. Consider the opposite. A life lived in doubt leads to hesitation, missed opportunities, and regret. Doubt causes you to speak less when you should speak more, to avoid chances that could change your future, and to settle for less than you deserve. Over time, that hesitation creates a smaller life. Belief in yourself is what expands life. It opens doors that doubt keeps closed. Acting with confidence is not pretending to know everything. It is being willing to step forward, even when you do not. It is trusting that you can figure things out along the way. Every skill you now have was once something you did not know. You learned it by trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. The same process will carry you through every future challenge. Confidence is knowing that you have done it before, and you can do it again. Practical steps can strengthen your confidence daily. Stand tall. Speak clearly. Look people in the eye. These small behaviors send signals to your brain and to others that you are strong. Practice skills regularly. The more familiar you are with what you need to do, the less doubt has room to grow. Celebrate small wins. Recognize your progress to remind yourself that you are moving forward. Each of these actions reinforces your belief. Over time, belief in your ability becomes natural. At first, it requires effort. You must consciously fight doubt and push yourself to act. But as you build evidence through action, self-talk, and preparation, your confidence grows. Soon you no longer have to remind yourself. You simply know. You carry yourself differently because you have proven to yourself that you can handle life. That kind of confidence cannot be faked. It is earned. The most powerful part of believing in yourself is freedom. When you believe, you are no longer controlled by fear of judgment. You are no longer held back by what others think. You are free to act, free to try, free to grow. Confidence liberates you to live the life you want instead of the life others expect. It allows you to move boldly, to take risks, and to build a future that reflects your true potential. So make the decision now. Believe in your ability. Remind yourself daily that you are capable of growth, capable of learning, and capable of success. Act with strong confidence even before you feel ready, and allow action to build the feeling. Protect your belief by surrounding yourself with the right people, keeping your promises, and celebrating your progress. Refuse to let doubt control your choices. Each day, carry yourself as someone who trusts their own strength. When you do, your life begins to expand. Opportunities appear where before there were none. Relationships grow stronger because people sense your certainty. Achievements multiply because you no longer hesitate. And most importantly, you begin to see yourself not as someone who hopes for success, but as someone who creates it. Confidence built on belief is one of the greatest habits you can ever develop. It will carry you through challenges, elevate your performance, and bring you closer to the life you dream of living.
Chapter 10. Check your progress daily and correct your direction fast. Success is not built on blind effort alone. Working hard without knowing where you stand is like walking in the dark. You move, but you do not know if you are going in the right direction. The habit of checking your progress daily is what turns effort into achievement. It is what keeps you honest with yourself, prevents wasted time, and makes sure you are moving closer to your goals instead of drifting away from them. If you want results, you cannot leave your progress to chance. You must measure it, review it, and adjust it quickly. Every day is an opportunity to learn. When you pause at the end of the day and ask, what did I do well? Where did I fall short? What can I do better tomorrow? You gain clarity. Without reflection, you risk repeating the same mistakes again and again. But with daily review, you catch errors early, and small corrections prevent bigger failures later. Think of how a pilot flies a plane. The destination is set, but constant adjustments are made along the way. Without those corrections, the plane would drift off course. Your goals are the same. Without daily review, you can drift for weeks or months without realizing it. Checking your progress daily is also about accountability. It is easy to set big goals in the excitement of the moment, but it is even easier to forget them when daily distractions take over. A daily review forces you to face the truth. Did you actually do what you said you would do? If yes, you celebrate progress. If no, you recognize the gap and adjust. This honesty builds character. You cannot lie to yourself every day and still expect success. You must confront your actions and hold yourself accountable. The second part of this habit is speed. Do not just check your progress, correct your direction fast. Many people waste months waiting for the perfect time to fix a mistake. They realize they are off track, but instead of changing today, they say, "I'll start fresh next week," or "I'll fix it after this busy season."
That delay is what kills success. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to recover. If you correct quickly, you save time, energy, and opportunity. Small mistakes corrected immediately never grow into disasters. Imagine a person trying to get fit. They skip a workout, and instead of correcting the next day, they skip another, then another. Soon they lose the habit altogether. Now imagine the same person skips one workout but corrects the next day. They miss a step, but they return quickly. That is the difference between failure and success. Not perfection, but speed of correction. You do not need to avoid every mistake, you need to catch them fast and get back on track. Checking your progress daily also builds confidence. Every time you see growth, no matter how small, you reinforce belief in yourself. Progress is the greatest motivator. Even one small step forward, written down and acknowledged, reminds you that your effort matters. Without measuring, you forget how far you've come, and discouragement creeps in. But with daily review, you see evidence that you are improving. That evidence builds the confidence to keep going. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they never measure their actions. They guess, they assume, they hope, but they never verify. Hope is not a strategy. You need proof. If your goal is financial, track every dollar saved or earned. If your goal is health, track your workouts, meals, or weight. If your goal is learning, track the books you read or the skills you practice. Measurement gives clarity, and clarity gives direction. Without it, you cannot know if you are truly progressing. Correcting your direction fast also prevents wasted years. Many people wake up one day realizing they spent years climbing the wrong ladder. They worked hard but not on the right things. That is why you must check daily. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did my actions today align with my real goals? If not, change immediately. Do not wait until next month or next year to correct. Success comes from constant, quick alignment with your vision. There is also a psychological strength in reviewing daily. It trains you to take responsibility. Instead of blaming circumstances, people, or luck, you look directly at your own actions. You say, here is what I did, here is what I must do differently. That shift from blame to ownership transforms your mindset. Success belongs to those who own their progress. Excuses belong to those who never move forward. Daily progress checks also create momentum. When you see consistent results written down, even small ones, you begin to build a chain you do not want to break. If you read for 20 minutes each day and track it, you will not want to miss a day, because the streak itself motivates you. This creates a cycle of consistency. Review keeps the cycle alive, and correction keeps it moving in the right direction. Some people avoid checking progress because they fear the truth. They fear seeing how little they have done. But facing the truth is the only way to grow. Denial keeps you stuck. Honesty sets you free. Even if your progress is small, facing it daily forces you to stay awake to your reality. Success demands that you stop lying to yourself and start measuring honestly. To make this habit work, keep it simple. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to write down what you accomplished. Did you follow through on your goals? Did you waste time? Did you grow? Do not overcomplicate it. Clarity comes from simplicity. Then, based on what you see, make one adjustment for tomorrow. That adjustment could be waking earlier, avoiding a distraction, focusing on one task instead of many, or pushing yourself harder. The habit of adjusting daily is what ensures you stay on course. This habit also protects you from discouragement. If you only check progress once a year, the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels overwhelming. But if you check daily, the gap is small, and small gaps are easy to fix. Each day becomes manageable. You no longer feel crushed by the size of your goals because you know you are moving forward step by step. Daily review breaks big success into small victories. Correcting fast also keeps you adaptable. Life changes, plans shift, circumstances arise that you cannot control. If you are rigid, you break under change, but if you correct quickly, you adapt and continue. Flexibility is power. It allows you to stay committed to the destination while adjusting the path. Daily correction trains you to be flexible, to pivot when needed, without losing sight of your vision. Think of how empowering it feels to know you are always in control of your direction. Even if you drift, even if you stumble, you can adjust quickly and get back on track. That knowledge removes fear. You no longer fear failure because you know it will not last long. You will catch it, correct it, and move forward. This confidence allows you to take bigger risks and pursue bigger goals because you trust in your ability to stay aligned. The habit of checking progress daily and correcting fast also increases discipline. It forces you to stay conscious. Many people live unconsciously, repeating habits without thought. Daily review wakes you up. It makes you deliberate. Each day is no longer random. It is purposeful. Each action is no longer automatic. It is intentional. Discipline grows when you live with awareness, and awareness grows when you review daily. Over time, this habit transforms not only your results, but also your character. You become someone who values honesty, consistency, and responsibility. You become someone who takes action quickly, instead of waiting. You become someone who respects time enough not to waste it. That kind of character attracts success naturally, because success is built on the foundation of responsibility and action. So begin now. At the end of this day, take a moment to look at your progress. Ask the tough questions. Did you live with discipline? Did you take steps toward your goals? Where did you fall short? What can you change tomorrow? Then, act on those answers immediately. Do not wait. Correct quickly. Build this habit, and soon you will see that success is not about giant leaps, but about small daily steps reviewed, corrected, and repeated. The people who rise highest in life are not those who never fail, but those who fail, notice quickly, and correct fast. They waste no time in denial or excuses. They adjust, they learn, and they move forward stronger. That is what you must do. Check your progress daily, and correct your direction fast. This one habit ensures that you never drift too far, never lose sight of your vision, and never stop moving closer to the success you want.